the principles written in Bhagavad Gita are not similar to law of attraction. They're same. I couldn't believe it. 1 week from then, I was sitting in his room having a meeting with Hrithik Roshan.
How would you break down the fundamentals of the law of attraction?
FTBA as if you already have it, which means you feel, think, believe and act as if you already have it to attract it. The evidence is in science and religion both. So one of the things I've observed about Hrithik is that he fails but keeps taking action. In 2020, I get an email from a fighter pilot of our country, and doctors had told him it's impossible for him to even walk.
2023, he was back in the cockpit.
Our marriage is a law of attraction experience.
Would you believe me if I said an Air Force pilot got back into the cockpit 3 years after doctors said he'd never walk again? Hi, I'm Karishma Mehta and welcome to Realign the podcast, where we simplify the concepts of science, spirituality and wellness. Today we're joined by Mitesh and Indu Khatri, authors and law of attraction coaches with over 20 years of experience and the duo behind Guiding Light Consultants. From being a door-to-door salesman to manifesting a booming career to love and even manifesting Hrithik Roshan as their brand ambassador, in this episode, explore where you're going wrong in your manifestation journey, the transformative power of intuition, and the real science that validates all these techniques. It's time to realign mind, body, and soul. Welcome to Realign the podcast, Mitesh and Indu. So nice to have you. And I'm so excited because this is actually one of my favorite topics, and it's also our audience's favorite topic. They really resonate and understand and want to understand more.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah. I want to begin with something that is a very specific question in terms of an anecdote, right? What was that one moment in your lives where you all were truly flabbergasted that this is how it works and this is how the magnitude of the law of attraction can work for you? What was that one moment in your lives? It can either be a combined experience or individual experiences.
I think definitely a combined experience because our marriage is a law of attraction experience.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So one of the best experiences for me now, which is continuing till now, is about 22 years ago when I was finally ready. I said, okay, now I'm ready for a relationship. And I used law of attraction that day.
Oh, really? Okay.
1 week after that, I met her.
No way.
And then, believe it or not, 2 days after that, we were already in a relationship. We started dating. And then for almost a year, we were dating. And I had said no for marriage to her for some weird reason. Maybe because of the typical fear of commitments for boys.
Yeah.
So I was not really ready. And there were a lot of differences between us in terms of age.
Right.
She's elder to me.
Okay.
She's already had a divorce in the past. She was much more successful than I was. In fact, I was not successful then. She was. She is. And so all those things went in a way against my family's wishes in terms of whether it's possible or not. And when finally my mom, I introduced her during that year, we believe in Patrika, we are Marwadis. So Patrika matching didn't happen. And because of that, the marriage was not possible. In a way, I was happy for that because I was anyways scared of giving commitments, to be very honest. But what I didn't realize was after she learned law of attraction with me, she started applying it on me, which she didn't tell me.
Okay. Yeah.
She did some techniques, which law of attraction, affirmations, visualization, without telling me. And one fine day, my mom says, let's go to the same Pandit again. And now the Pandit says that whatever Mangal period was done is gone. Now you can get married again. I was like, what?
Yeah.
And when I told her that, she said I was using affirmations.
That's insane.
So that was the turning point where we realized, my God, this is crazy. We got to use it more.
Yeah. And it'll give so much hope to a lot of people because, believe it or not, one of the most asked questions on law of attraction in particular is on love and relationships.
Yes.
So I'm really excited to carry that conversation forward.
Looking
But
forward
let's reset a little bit, right? How would you break down the fundamentals of the law of attraction?
So law of attraction is a science. It's a law, and which works when you tune into that science or the law with the right frequency.
Correct.
Just the way when you're listening to a radio, you tune into a radio with a frequency, say 98.3. When you say 98.3, it will play Radio Mirchi for you in Mumbai. So similarly, for law of attraction, there are some things you need to do to tune into it.
Correct.
Once you tune into it, you attract it. And those things are feelings, thoughts, beliefs, and actions. FTBA.
So our formula that we use is we say FTBA as if you already have it, which means you feel, think, believe and act as if you already have it to attract it. But to give you a little more complex answer to that, most of us live life as, if I had to show it on the screen, I wish I could, have dash do dash be. Which means everybody wants to first have something in life.
Yeah.
Then we say we'll do something with it. Then we say we'll become something with it. So for an example, somebody says, first, I want to have a lot of money.
Hmm.
Then I will do a business with money. Then I will be successful.
Correct.
Or in relationship, people say, okay, first I want to have a person in my life. Then I will do what a person doesn't love. Then I'll be happily married. But life doesn't actually work that way.
Hmm.
Have to be is not attraction, it's chase. You're
Yes.
chasing behind it. But law of attraction works in a beautiful way, which is the natural source of life, which is be, do, have.
Yeah. So you reverse the order.
You reverse the order, or let's put it this way, you actually go in the actual order.
That's
Because
it. That's
That's
a
the
natural
actual
order.
order.
Right.
Actual
That's a
order.
natural
The
order.
reverses have to be.
Yeah.
The actual order is be, do, have. So I be happy first to do what I naturally do as a happy person.
Correct.
And what a person happily does naturally automatically attracts happiness. So you have what a happy person has.
Yeah.
So a very simple question that sometimes I ask people who want to attract love, for an example,
Hmm.
is when you ask people, okay, what kind of a person do you want in their life?
Hmm.
So typically they'll say, I want well-settled,
Tall, dark,
tall,
handsome.
handsome. I want someone who's jovial, happy, makes me laugh, right? A list comes in. Now the question I ask them many times is, okay, take this list like a checklist and now ask yourself a question. How many of these qualities do I have?
Hmm.
Am I being the person I want to attract? Because many times we have the exact opposite of that.
Yeah.
So we're working on have, do, be instead of be, do, have. So in law of attraction, what we teach is how do you really, now this seems complicated, but if you practice it properly, it's simple to actually start practice to be, and automatically the doing happens in inspired way.
Hmm.
Then the have. Now this is called inspired action instead of desperate action.
Correct. Yeah, every book or every matter that I've read always says that when you take that positive action or intent after putting that vision out into the universe,
Yep.
things just manifest in different ways because the how is not your domain. It's the domain
got
of
it.
the universe. But the biggest problem that people have while they're manifesting or using this principle is exactly that, which is how do I be happy if I feel the lack of, say, a person in my life, whether it's a relationship or money, if I feel a lack and not an abundance, or like the perfect job or the holiday, the list can go on, right?
Yes.
So, two questions here. A is how do you surrender
Yep.
to the unknown, which is very difficult for some people, given that you want to touch and feel and say that, okay, now I have it. And how do you let go?
Okay. So when we say let go, first we need to understand what to let go, right?
Hmm.
Your first question is related to that. How do you surrender? Surrender is a beautiful emotion. Let's call it happiness. Let's call it faith. So if I surrender to, let's say, to your questions today.
Yeah.
But before that, before I learn how to surrender, the question is to let go of a negative emotion that I'm going through.
Hmm.
Now, what is that? Doubt.
Yeah.
Sadness. Frustration.
Fear.
Helplessness. My past conditioning of what I believe will never happen in my life. My past failures. These have become our blocks. And if I start doing basic affirmations with all these negative emotions inside me all the time, are affirmations going to work for me?
No.
No.
Yeah.
That is why a lot of times affirmations don't work. Because my being is so sad that no matter how many affirmations I do, the having is just not happening.
Yeah, it's a frequency mismatch.
Frequency mismatch.
Correct.
So the first step would be technically to be using some beautiful techniques of law of attraction. An example of that is Ho'oponopono.
Yeah.
To release these negative emotions first.
Hmm.
So let's release the doubt first. Let's release the frustration first. Let's release the sadness first. Now there's an open space in your heart to create some happiness,
Hmm.
to create some celebration, to create some gratitude,
Correct.
to create some surrender. But if I don't release those emotions and directly try to create surrender, won't happen.
It's simple example can be a dustbin.
Hmm.
If you have a dustbin, if you put a packing paper or a wrapping paper, beautiful paper on top of it, you spray a perfume, it will work fine for a day or maybe 2 days. After 2 or 3 days, the dustbin inside the garbage will
If
start
it has
stinking.
garbage.
Yeah.
It will start stinking and the smell start coming out and there will be germs, there will be a lot of things happening after that. So you have to take the garbage out first, clean the dustbin completely.
Yeah.
Then only whatever you do with that dustbin will work.
Correct. Understood.
Yeah.
So let's go with this flow. Let's talk a little bit about this technique that you just spoke about. It's Ho'oponopono. Did I say
Ho'oponopono.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go into that technique. And what does it entail?
So Ho'oponopono was made famous by a gentleman called Dr. Hugh Lin.
Okay.
or rather, he was the practitioner, and Dr. Joe Vitale, who was from the movie The Secret, is who found him. And Dr. Julian was a psychiatrist. I'm saying was because he's no more now. And he was a psychiatrist in a mental hospital. He was dealing with mental patients who were so violent that they would hurt themselves and others. So they were into body bags, given electric shocks, medicines, stuff like that. And Dr. Julian comes in and he does a technique called Ho'oponopono, which is a Hawaiian technique of, you can say law of attraction in a way, to release negative emotions. And he healed these people in 6 months without meeting them, without talking to them, without having a conversation, without counseling, without medicine. And in 6 months, all of them are released and gone home. Now, if this sounds crazy, listen to this part. In 1 year, the mental asylum was closed.
Yeah.
Because he healed everybody.
Correct. Yeah.
And this is a well-known story, famous by Dr. Joe Vitale. And the technique simply says 4 statements. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And these 4 statements, most of you know, has vibrations and frequency. And there are a few ways of using this. One is the basic way of just, let's say I'm upset with someone. Or let's say I did something wrong and Indu's upset with me. Okay, in a relationship.
Yeah.
So what I would do is, before I would go home, instead of going home with the thought of what is she going to say, then what am I going to say, then what's she going to say. Sometimes when we're angry with people, we have this argument in our head with people.
You're mentally rehearsing
You're
it.
mentally rehearsing. And the worst part is you're losing in that rehearsal.
Yeah.
And you get more angry. Right? So instead of doing that, what if I, on the way going home, I'm just saying, Indu, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And I'm just chanting that, literally, all the way. And believe it or not, because in law of attraction we say at the energy level we are all one, she's connected to me at the energy level, not because she's only married to me, but also because at the energy level we really are connected.
To everyone.
To everything.
To everything.
Everyone.
Yeah.
The whole universe is connected at the energy level. So when I'm saying these words with the intent of talking to Indu on the way, by the time I reach home, mostly her anger is fizzled down.
And you've noticed this every time?
Every single time.
Every single time.
Wow.
We tried it for almost everything. For arguments, for fights, for health, for money.
She does it to
for
make people
relationship.
go to sleep.
For a lot of things. We tried it for loads and loads of things on each other, with friends, with clients, with relatives, a lot of people. With my birds also, we have 2 birds.
Yeah.
So we tried it with everything actually.
Wow. Yeah.
And the science is so simple that if you learn to really heal yourself, you become the source of healing for other people. So one simple way is just chanting Ho'oponopono, but then there is also something called advanced Ho'oponopono. So the beauty, I'll give you an example of how law of attraction works. Dr. Joe Vitale, John DeMartini from the movie The Secret.
Yeah.
They are the grandfathers of law of attraction, right?
Yeah.
So one day I was sitting at home and I said, okay, how do I test my law of attraction? Sometimes it's just good to test yourself, right? Let's practice rather than just teach. So one day I said, Indu, we are teaching Ho'oponopono. Why don't we attract the man who made it famous? Dr. Joe Vitale.
Wow.
She said, good idea. Let's email it to him. And then the question comes, which always people ask, how? And you so beautifully said it in the beginning, the how is not our domain.
It's not your domain. Yeah.
So we always say, don't ask how, just use it. So we used affirmations, we used a vision board. On our vision board, we added our photograph with Joe Vitale. A week after that, the meeting was set.
Wow. He just responded to your email.
He just responded to our email, which was crazy. So we spoke to him for 15-20 minutes and he kind of went through a snippet of our course. He went through it and he said, this is so impressive. I've never seen something like this. And I'm saying this on record. He said that. And then he said, would you like to be part of my course? He said, yes, of course. So on 30th of this month, 30th of January, he's coming live on our
That's amazing.
YouTube channel
That's
as
amazing.
a launch of being a special contributor to our course. And that day he's announcing to the world saying, I'm going to promote these guys.
Wow.
And I want to promote this course of Ho'oponopono and I'm going to be contributing to that course with 2 special lessons.
That's amazing.
This is law of attraction.
Yeah.
I mean, what more magic can I
Yeah,
share?
yeah. By the time this episode comes out, it would be live. So
Yes.
I'm sure everybody will already be checking it out. But this is fascinating because, the one thing that people always ask for and look for is evidence.
Yes.
Because there's so much stigma around law of attraction, right? That it's not a science, it's a pseudoscience.
Correct.
There's a constant tussle between scientific fact and is law of attraction,
Absolutely.
does law of attraction have scientific fact? So what would you say to the naysayers, right? Like if there is doubt, because with doubt, you obviously cannot operate from there.
Correct.
So what would you say to these guys who are wondering and questioning, is it a science? Will it work for me?
Okay. So first of all, it is a science And the moment somebody has doubt, the best way to clear the doubt is go full doubt. Go all out skeptical.
Yeah.
How do you go all out skeptical? A healthy skeptical guy or a lady is someone who would really analyze and be healthy skeptical. Go and find out data. Does it really work? Like really go all out. So I went all out many years ago and I did some research. And what I found out was totally crazy. I wrote a book on it called The Law of Attraction, which is a national bestseller in India now. In Bhagavad Gita, the principles written in Bhagavad Gita are not similar to Law of Attraction. They're same, word by word.
Wow.
So, word by word, translations of this is what Bhagavad Gita says, this is what physics says, and it's word by word same. So, I'll give you a simple example of that. In Bhagavad Gita, it says, you are not body, you are soul.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You cannot take birth, you cannot die, you only transform from one life to another life.
Yeah.
Law of Attraction says, you are not matter, you are energy. You're not body, you're energy.
Yeah.
You cannot die or take birth, which means you cannot be created or destroyed.
Energy cannot
be created or destroyed. Energy is only transformed from one form to another form.
Hmm.
Isn't this word by word saying?
Yeah.
So I'll say to all skeptical people, research, and you'll realize the evidence is in science and religion both that law of attraction works.
Yeah, that's a good answer, because I think that once people collect evidence for themselves, it automatically solves a lot of doubts.
Absolutely.
My next question is actually on another topic that's very close to me, because one of the first few times that I really started experiencing changes in my life was after I read Power of Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy. And I know the subconscious mind. I've studied a lot about it. In fact, I used to teach about it because it blew my mind that, this exists. And, once you get this knowledge, all you want to do is spread it because you know that it works.
Yes.
So how does the subconscious mind factor into the principles of law of attraction? And how can people begin to realign or rewire their subconscious state of thinking?
First and foremost, law of attraction and subconscious mind is not different.
Right.
Using law of attraction technique, we are actually programming subconscious mind. So, Power of Your Subconscious Mind, that's a very powerful book. I must have gifted it to at least 100 odd people.
Her favorite.
That's my favorite book, absolute favorite. So, that book talks about how you program your subconscious mind for your goals.
Yeah.
And mostly it focuses on health, but you can program it for everything. So, Power of Your Subconscious Mind and Law of Attraction talks the same thing. Just that there are different methods of programming it. It can be visualization, affirmation, or vision board, or hope, nope, no, or any other technique. These are different techniques to meet the same goal, which is programming your subconscious mind. We also have a program called Daily Magic Practice, which we run every day.
Imagine 500 people dancing on Zoom like crazy. On video.
That's a vision.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And after the dancing part, they start reading their affirmations. Why after the dancing? One of the biggest problems that people face in affirmations is they're reading their affirmations and their mind is saying, kya bol raha hai?
Yeah. You're not in that high frequency state.
Exactly.
Correct. Yeah. So the subconscious is best programmed when it's happy.
Right.
So we start with that fun. We start with that happiness. The mistake people make with law of attraction is we use affirmations to feel something. That's a mistake. First feel happy, then use affirmations. So you fuel your affirmations rather than taking fuel from your affirmations.
Yeah.
So that's what we do every day. And then after that, I make them close their eyes, put their hands on their heart. And every day we do a different message of subconscious programming for what they believe in their life. So subconscious programming requires two simple things. 3, I would say. First is fun. I know it sounds crazy, but the simplest thing is fun. Have fun before you program your mind. 2 is clarity for your affirmations. Right? 3rd is repetition. The more you repeat, the more you program, because what is programming? Repetition.
Yeah. That's a very succinct way of putting a very complicated topic. So I hope people figure out how to do this simply, because, every time people hear these very large concepts, they're like a little bit intimidated.
Yeah.
Like, I won't be able to do it. But when you simplify it like that, it becomes easier.
Yeah, we hope so. That's the intention.
In fact, at this point, I'll take the opportunity to say that to your viewers, we will give a free link
Yeah.
where they can come and attend this
Yeah.
30 days program. It's a paid
Good.
program,
Yeah.
but we will give you the link where they can join
Yeah, you're
and
welcome to attend for
experience free completely.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I'm sure people
For
will enjoy it, and we'll leave the links and the
Yeah.
code
For 30
below.
days, they will have Mitesh doing subconscious
Yeah, let's dance
programming.
together.
And let's dance together.
You never know. She might come along one
Yeah,
of those days.
yeah. I'm a junkie for all these things. Like, as
Yeah.
you know, that I do a lot of research, and this is my area. Like, I love
Right.
it, which is why I realign the podcast.
Makes sense, realign.
Yeah.
Got it.
Which brings me to my next question. What are some of the most fascinating stories that you have from people who you've heard about manifesting the seemingly unattainable?
Okay, so I'll tell you one of the
We'll-
craziest stories.
We'll share about the pregnancy.
You want to share about pregnancy first? Go ahead. So we'll tell you two
Okay.
stories.
Okay.
Okay. So there is this one girl who, I mean, there are many ladies that way, but there is one I'm sharing. She wanted to get pregnant. She wanted to conceive a baby, and she was not able to do it for many years. So she joined our program. She joined a couple of programs, and she started manifesting. And she applied all our techniques.
Yeah, she was very diligent.
Very diligently. She applied water bottle, vision board, affirmation, appeared for the daily magic practice every day. And she did hope no also. Believe it or not, within a
She
month
conceived.
she conceived.
She can see.
Wow.
We
I
have-
know now people deem
Crazy.
this as this is a coincidence, but
No, I have many
exactly. But
examples.
people who practice it on the regular
Yeah.
know that there's no such thing as coincidence,
Coincidence.
really. So these are experiences where, like, we had Dr. Karishma Mehta on the show as well, who's a metaphysical
Yeah, I
counselor.
remember.
Yeah, and
That was a
she
beautiful
spoke.
episode.
Yeah, she spoke about how a woman who was 41
Mhm.
attracted a pregnancy into her life.
Wow.
After trying IVF and
Wow.
everything, she conceived naturally.
Amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, so
It's possible.
it's possible, exactly.
Yeah.
What is some of the
Oh, the second
your-
story is crazy because it includes me and you could say a hero of our country.
Okay, a hero of our oh yeah,
Yes.
okay.
Yes, literally the hero of our country. And I don't mean that which you're thinking about right now. Let me tell you why. So when the movie Secret came many years ago, at that time I was already teaching law of attraction.
Before it came out.
Yes.
Before it came out,
Okay,
I was already teaching.
right.
That time I was teaching for free
Hmm.
at my house.
Hmm.
And then the movie Secret came out, and there's this beautiful scene in that movie where there's a pilot crashes.
And then he comes out of it.
Yeah.
And
So
he
he's
he's
starts
been told he can
visualizing.
never walk.
Yeah.
Every bone of his body was broken. His nose, he couldn't breathe. And he comes out. That scene in that moment, I don't know what happened to me. I said, one day I want to help a pilot like this.
Okay.
And I forgot about it.
Okay.
And then in 2020, a few years ago, I get an email from one of the heroes of our country, which is an Air Force pilot,
Fighter pilot.
a fighter pilot of our country.
Oh my God, yeah.
And he sends to me this email which says, Dear Mitesh, about a few months ago, I had a plane crash where my fighter jet crashed. I've broken every bone in my body except my one hand. Doctors have told me I can hardly walk. My wife gifted me a book. I want to know if you can coach me.
Wow.
And that thought of that scene of that air
Yeah.
pilot came in my mind. I said, oh my God, looks like this is the responsibility I was supposed to have.
Yeah.
So obviously he's Air Force pilot. I had to call him up. I called him. I said, of course I can coach. And when he came on Zoom for the first time, I asked him the same question I would ask anybody in manifestation. What do you want? He says the most crazy thing I've ever heard with a man who's got every part of his body broken. He says, put me back in the cockpit. I said, that sounds impossible. But then she's always there behind me, reminding me, law of attraction, what's impossible?
Yeah.
Anyways, it's not us to decide how. So we started coaching him. Believe it or not, 3 years from then, he's back in the cockpit.
Wow.
2023, he was back in the cockpit.
That's
And
We did a
on our
complete
channel,
episode.
we did a
Complete
complete
episode.
episode on him very recently.
wow.
And it was the most emotional experiences of my life to see
Of
the day
course.
when he shared that photograph of him in the uniform and
Yeah.
he's back from that flight.
That is,
It was crazy. Like,
yeah.
and doctors had told him it's impossible for him to even walk. Forget about flying. He had multiple surgeries.
Mm.
So every fiber of his body took realignment.
Yeah. Yeah.
It literally realigned his life. And he's flying today. So what more crazy can I share than
Yeah,
that?
like what other limit do you
What-
want to
this
place?
is madness,
Yeah, it's absolutely
You
crazy.
just surrender a little bit. I always tell people, पैसे थोड़ी लग रहे हैं.
Hmm.
इमेजिन ही तो करना है,
Yeah.
कर लो। ज्यादा से ज्यादा क्या होगा, नहीं होगा ना।
करके
नहीं
देखो।
मत होने दो, पैसे थोड़ी लग रहे।
This was a fascinating narration, and I had goosebumps, and I can't believe. I'm so happy for him,
Yeah.
that he was able to use this and actually turn his life around from
Absolutely.
not being deemed not being fit to walk to being back to where he
Absolutely.
wanted to be.
In fact, when he asked his doctor that will I be able to run, doctor said, आप अगर चल भी पा लिए तो भी काफी है.
Forget about it.
Forget
Said.
running.
Wow. Should get the doctor on now for an interview
Yeah.
to ask how did it happen.
Really.
Yeah.
So tell me, when people are manifesting, and this is the question that we get most often, right? Like these are fascinating experiences and almost miracles that
Yeah.
most people would term it as. Where are they going wrong in their manifestation? Like everybody says, I'm being very diligent, I'm waking up, I'm doing my affirmations, I'll visualize, I'll do 2 or 3 things every day,
Yeah.
but it's just not happening for me.
Thank you so much for asking that question. There are 2 kinds of law of attraction.
Hmm.
Most people are not aware of it: basic law of attraction and advanced law of attraction.
Okay.
Basic law of attraction is basic techniques: affirmation, visualization, hope no, gratitude technique. These are simple things and they work. But when they work is when you apply the advanced, which is the foundation of law of attraction.
Hmm.
There are 10 such lessons which people don't even know of. One of those lessons, for an example, is called as FTBA alignment.
Okay.
Now, what is FTBA? My feelings, my thoughts, my beliefs, and my actions.
Hmm.
Right? If my feeling is going in one direction, thought in another direction, belief, God knows which direction, and action is not even happening, and I'm saying affirmations, will it work?
Yeah.
It won't. That's where it's going wrong. This is just one of those lessons. So, to give you a simple example, I want to have a relationship, right? But if I've, let's say, gone through a couple of breakups, and I've got so many wounds
Hmm.
that every time I think of a girl or a guy, depending on who I am, I have this fear, but also the desire. And I'm saying affirmations. I'm happily married, I'm happily married, I'm happily married. But within me, there's this fear. You remember I said you need to clear these emotions first?
Yeah.
So I'm going through these fears and I'm thinking, what if it happens again? What happened last time?
Hmm.
And I strongly believe that eventually relationships don't work. And I hardly go out and meet new people. But I say affirmations, I'm happily married. That's what's going wrong.
Everything is in a different direction.
Everything is in a different direction.
Yeah.
So in our workshops, what we do is first we bring a person saying, okay, let's realign you. Literally. Let your feelings be in tandem with your thoughts with your beliefs with your actions. Again, you'll have inspired action after that. And then you attract what you want. This is just one of the examples.
Yeah.
But another example could be of advanced law of attraction of yin and the yang frequency. I'm sure you've heard of yin yang.
Yeah.
A lot of girls who are not getting married right now is because they've got so much yang frequency, they've disowned their yin. So they're successful in their professional life, but struggling in their personal life. So a lot of these ladies, when they come for our workshops, when they reactivate or realign their yin frequency, suddenly they attract the guy they wanted. But otherwise, there was so much yang frequency that they would have a lot of boys around them who would be friends with them, but the relationship wouldn't work out.
Correct.
Because yin and yang can become friends, not chemistry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Same thing with a guy. A guy has so much yin frequency, his yang is suppressed. I won't say dead because he's there, just suppressed. Now, in his personal life, in his yin frequency, he's nice, he's sweet, he's good, he's well behaved, but he doesn't have the aggression to achieve his goals. He's making big plans, but he's not able to take action. Some of you can relate with this while I'm saying this.
Yeah.
Because the yang frequency is missing. Now, if I say affirmations that I'm making $1 million a month, but I don't have that yang energy to make decisions, then where is that energy going to come from to take inspired action?
Correct. So there's a lot of process setting before you actually get to the process of law of attraction is what I'm gauging.
Yeah.
And there's
process, instead of process, I would say there's a lot of learning actually.
Yeah.
There's a lot of learning before you actually go there.
How does one begin the process? Like you said, right? There's a lot of learning involved. Of course, there are so many courses like the ones that you guys are conducting. But say you want to start simply and you want to make it very low maintenance. You just want to be like, I'm going to try this. It's low stakes. If it works, great. I'll probably explore more. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I mean, I'm not saying it won't. It's just, this is how the mindset and the questions are.
Makes sense.
What is ground zero? How does one begin their journey?
Clarity.
Okay.
A lot of people are not even clear what they want to attract.
Yeah.
And I think her favorite example she'll talk about.
Yeah, so clarity, we can have the clarity first, what we want. First and foremost, if you don't know what you want, then first manifest having clarity. That is the first thing. Second thing is, you can definitely start with the basic law of attraction. So start with the basic law of attraction where you want to do have the clarity. For clarity, when I'm saying you need to have the clarity, because it's like you got into auto rickshaw right now and you want to go from here. You are saying go to Zoo, then you are saying no, stop, go to Bandra. Then you are saying no, I want to go to Kandivli. Then rickshawala is going to stop at one place, and he's going to say, "Madam, decide kar lo pehle." So like that, universe is also going to say, "Decide kar lo pehle." So have the clarity. Once you have the clarity what you are looking for, then start with basic law of attraction, and start with daily magic practice, which we are offering anyways free. That you can start with that. Once you start with that, you will see results. You will see small results. You may not see big results, but you will see small results like attracting coffee, parking, small gifts, those kind of things. Once you start getting the result, your belief will come. Once your belief comes, then you can upgrade yourself to advanced techniques, and then you can manifest your bigger goals as well.
Yeah, I'll give you one more answer for that. It's not a very simple answer, but a very important answer. Ground zero is, please get a coach and work with him, because the worst person to advise yourself at ground zero is you.
Like, give it to somebody, like hand it over to somebody else.
Yes.
Right.
I created my problems. I can't solve them. Trust somebody. Invest with somebody. It can be anybody, but start somewhere. Surrender to a coach to start with. It's a much faster method compared to just doing it yourself. Thinking, let me first try it. पहले फ्री में कर लेते हैं, होता है तो देखेंगे, फिर नहीं होगा तो कोई बात नहीं. But then again, you can't make it big. Starting in a small lane.
Yeah.
Come to the ceiling first.
Yeah.
To open up that vision.
Yeah.
And the best way to do that is go to somebody who's already made it work.
Correct. That's the thing, right? When you start getting evidence in your daily experiences, like little things like you were mentioning, automatically your brain is like, oh, this works. And then that builds on your belief. And I think that's where I was. I was in college when I discovered the secret. And then my journey kept building from there. And I always say this, that a huge portion of my career is because I was able to kind of visualize a certain aspect, or visualize a certain project, or visualize a certain goal in my mind very clearly. And in fact, Realign was born because of that clarity. When there was clarity, things just moved quickly. And then within a week, we were already shooting episodes. Like that. Yeah. I mean, even the name Realign.
Yeah. I mean, imagine you're interviewing Shri Ravi Shankar.
Yeah.
And it's so beautiful that souls like these connect with you personally today and communicate with you.
Yeah.
That is pure manifestation. If that's not power of clarity, then what is?
No, and we are attracting more people into our experience who are on this path. Like, for example, we did a episode with Shikhar Dhawan, who's a cricketer, but his entire episode, I would say above 50%, became about spirituality and spiritual practices. And that was so, we had no idea going in that he is spiritual. We had no idea that he applies the law of attraction. He kept using the word manifestation. He kept using the word visualization, law of attraction. It was fascinating that, these people just come into your experience once you're on the same frequency. So I hope people who are listening also figure out that, the energy, the frequency, the vibration do match.
Yes.
And you just have to align and tune yourself over there.
Absolutely.
I'm going to go into the next segment, which is actually really fascinating again, because I think it'll give a lot of inspiration to people once they hear your story with this individual, who obviously is your brand ambassador, Hrithik Roshan, who the country loves, and people also really admire him, not just for his acting, but even his mindset, right? He does very few films. He's so fit. He has a certain way of being. There's that energy. There's that aura.
Charisma.
Exactly. So talk to us about that, and how did you manifest him into your experience?
Absolutely.
How did it happen?
So when we were thinking of having a brand ambassador, again, test your limits, right?
Yeah.
So I said, okay, who can we manifest? That becomes the biggest proof of law of attraction itself.
Yeah.
Where I have no connections, no contacts, like दूर तक उसको जानता नहीं.
We don't even know.
किसी को नहीं जानते, जो किसी को जानते भी नहीं, जो उसको जानता है, ऐसा कोई सोचते हैं. But the number one thing we thought was, how do we choose a brand ambassador? And we have a program called as Platinum Membership, which we talk about lifetime coaching to maintain platinum standards. So a lot of people manifest reality But the problem is they're not able to maintain, right?
Yeah. Like you'll stop your practice, you'll kind of
Correct.
fall off the habits.
Correct.
Right.
So we say learn to maintain standards in HRCM: health, relationships, career,
Correct.
and money. Only those people are able to sustain who have standards. People who don't have standards achieve and then go
It
down
dips.
again.
Yeah.
It goes up and down like a stock market.
Exactly.
And then they keep coming back to law of attraction. But the idea is to maintain standards. So we said, okay, let's find somebody who believes in this and who maintains those standards. And we said, let's go to the topmost. And as you said, who other could we think of than Hrithik Roshan,
Yeah.
who's not only on the top from the kind of success he has right now, but his health. I think it's not very uncommon to know that he's gone through ups and downs in his health.
Yeah.
There are times he put on weight and then he would again come back to his body. The way he maintains his health standards is a role model in itself. His relationships, in spite of what we know, is broken up, but we still know that he has good relationships with his children.
Yeah.
I mean, that is called respect in relationship. That you may not live together, that doesn't mean that you don't have respect for each other. This is called platinum standards from my point of view as a person.
Yeah.
His career. I've heard a lot of stories about how he gives his 100% to his work. The kind of money he has. So HRCM.
No, we have noticed also when he was there for our shoot, he was super
Oh
good.
my God, super
He
professional.
checked every pic we click for him. He checked every picture.
Most humble, down to earth, professional.
He did not let go of any picture without checking. He did not let go of any video without checking. He shot 3 videos. After that, he looked at those videos. He did not like one video. He reshot that video.
It was really, I mean, the code of honor of really professionalism is remarkable. So when we sat home one day and we said, okay, let's manifest. And we said, okay, let's do Hrithik Roshan. And the day after that, we were in Mumbai for some reason. And we met one of our friends in Mumbai. And when she came to meet us in the hotel, we were generally mentioning her that we are thinking of Hrithik Roshan. And she says, I know somebody who knows him. And I'm like, are you real?
Yeah.
And she said, yeah, I'll connect you now. So I connected with that guy that night. Next morning, he says, sir, ek hafte mein meeting hai.
Wow.
I couldn't believe it. 1 week from then, I was sitting in his room having a meeting with Hrithik Roshan. And then rest is history. Now he's our brand ambassador.
Yeah. So talk to us a little bit about how his manifestation, his mindset, that you've worked with him and you can talk to our audience about, right? To inspire them about what it is about his mindset that you've learned in your interactions with him.
So one of the things I've observed about Hrithik is that when we say FTBA, a lot of people don't realize that the A is missing for most of us. Action.
Yeah.
Right? He doesn't just feel, think, and believe. He literally takes uncontrollable action, like action to its peak. And that's one thing that's inspired me the most about him. Most consistent action ever. And the more we bring in that consistency in action, even though we keep failing, it's okay.
Yeah.
Keep failing.
Yeah.
But one of the things I've seen about him is he fails but keeps taking action. So I love to say in my Wealth Mastery course, we have a money frequency workshop where we say, fail fast. Don't fail slow.
Yeah.
People who fail slow don't succeed fast.
Yeah.
But if you fail fast, you even succeed fast because the next episode will come faster. So, I mean, there are so many things I can talk about Hrithik, but there's one thing is his action frequency if somebody has to take from him. A lot of people come to us and say, I'm going through this in my life because of this problem, this problem, this problem, this problem, this problem. And then they will define, okay, my movie's not working, or my relationships are not working, or my body's not working because of this person is toxic in my family. People use all these kind of statements. And I prove it to them by asking a simple question that, what are you feeling right now? Tell me that first.
Yeah.
And they give me a simple answer that, okay, I'm feeling sad, I'm feeling upset, I'm feeling depressed, I'm feeling frustrated, whatever the emotions are, right? And the next question I ask freezes them. Are these emotions completely new to you? Like, are you experiencing these emotions today for the first time in this situation?
Or have you already in the past many times as a pattern?
Yeah, as a pattern.
Yeah.
And I said, no, it's been there. So I said, okay, for how many years has it been there? Go back in your past. Look in your memory lane. And when I asked that question, they're like, my God, I've had this since college times. 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. Okay, so do you really need to change your problems first? Or do you need to change your frequency first, which is your emotional pattern?
Correct.
So if I had to really coach somebody, I would start with changing their emotional frequency, the pattern first, then move forward from there.
On that note, when we speak about a person as successful as Hrithik Roshan, success is a very heavy term that most people are chasing. The output of success is very different. How you want to be successful, but people want to be successful.
Yes.
So let's talk about attracting success in one's life. In the context of a workplace, right? You're working somewhere and you want more abundance. You want to create more wealth. You want to create career opportunities. You want to attract the right opportunities. You want that project that will be the highlight of your career. In my career, of course, there have been certain highlights that I've attracted into my life. What advice would you give people who are working in corporates and or like working on their startups in the workforce? What advice would you give them to attract more, to attract bigger, to attract better, to attract without limits?
So two answers. I think one is the simple answer again, in terms of practicing the law of attraction basic every day.
So my answer will be more like understanding first what are you looking for. I wouldn't go for more or more success or more abundance or more health. I would go for what do you want to experience. My experience in terms of what do you want to feel, what do you want to think, what do you want to experience every day. Do you want to experience every day successful? Do you want to experience every day failure? Whatever you want to experience, you should manifest that. That can be being a software engineer also, or that can be being a CEO also. And if you don't have that manifestation in place, then even at being CEO, even if you get promoted to as a CEO, you will not experience success because you are not manifesting that you are successful. So I would say that I would manifest what do I want to feel and what do I want to think during that time.
Okay.
And once I feel and that I'm successful, then I am going to manifest success at every step of my life. Then being the junior most staff to the higher most staff, making 100 crores, 1 crore or 1,000 crores, I will still feel successful that time.
Another answer would be, I would say, for anybody who wants to succeed even in corporate or any area of life for that matter, start with a beautiful and a very simple affirmation called I am. Just I am. And initially don't even say anything after I am.
Just I am.
Just I am. And you'll realize there's a sense of calmness to it, where it's okay to not say anything after I am in a hurry. Like, can I just say I am? I am.
Like, just be.
Just be. You remember be, do, have?
Yeah.
For some time, just be I am. And now, let it come. So, okay, who do I want to be? I am a software engineer. I am a CEO. I am a happily married person. So, instead of just making manifestation and affirmations of what I want to have, make manifestations of I am.
Yeah.
So if I'm happily married, I am. I am a CEO. I am.
Yeah.
I'm the corporate head of this company. I am. Say the I am. And the reason that is important is the strongest force in human psychology, as Tony Robbins says, is being able to align with your own identity.
Yeah.
The moment you say I am, your entire subconscious works to give you that I am.
To help you be.
To help you be.
Correct.
And unfortunately, a lot of us do negative I ams.
Yeah.
We say, I am lazy.
Yeah.
I am frustrated. I'm hopeless. I'm helpless. Right? I am sad. I'm a failure. And these I ams need to be replaced with the new I am, which you really want to be. Start with that, and you'll see effortless success starts rather than push success. Because as she said, what matters in the end of the day is not only what you have achieved, but what have you felt.
Yeah. It's a feeling universe.
It's a feeling universe.
Yeah.
So in our money frequency workshops, we say there are two things, SDE versus FAG. Most people think financial freedom is FAG. Financial freedom is SDE. What is that? FAG is financial accumulation goals. So I keep accumulating.
You amass it. Yeah.
I amass it, right? Now, accumulation has two problems. One, it's expensive. Second, it takes time. So I want to accumulate a big house. It takes years. Right? The happiness that comes from accumulating a house will last for a few days. After that, it's become normal. Any big thing is financial accumulation goal. That's not financial freedom. True financial freedom is an SDE, which is small daily experiences. Now, there are millionaires who don't have small daily experiences, but they've accumulated a lot of wealth.
Yeah.
And they're every day feeling lack, desperate, frustrated in their relationships. So are they really financially free, or are they financial slaves? But instead of that, if they could really focus on what she's saying is small daily experiences and focus on experiencing emotions, you'll automatically manifest the half part.
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah. That's a good way to look at it. What about collective consciousness, right? Like I run a company and I am attuned, like I'm aligned with the law of attraction. I get it. How do teams kind of come together to experience a collective outcome? Because at the end of the day, the success of a company cannot just be me.
No.
It's impossible.
True.
It is a collective effort.
Absolutely.
And while I am on that frequency, how does it impact me if the team is not similarly aligned? And what can one do to collectively attune to this frequency and use a law of attraction to move in that direction?
The question is about what do I do when my team is not aligned with me?
Mm-hmm.
The beautiful answer is you don't even have to do anything when your team is not aligned with you. They'll just drop.
Oh.
That's how law of attraction works. What doesn't align with you drops and moves away from you automatically.
Out of your experience.
Out of your experience.
Right.
So the best thing that you can do that time, don't resist it and let them go. Situations and environment will be created for them to drop. Let them drop. Let them go. Because they'll realign somewhere else. That's their frequency somewhere else. And now, once again, coming back to clarity. Take a pen and paper and write down what's the quality of team members that I want rather than the skills only. A lot of people write only the skills, not the qualities of that person that you want in the person.
Yeah.
So with many CEOs, many times what I would work is I said, the second line that you want, start writing down not only the skills that they would have, because skills are, you'll find so many people with skills. The problem is they're coming and they're going.
Yeah.
Why aren't they being with you? Because their frequency is not matching. So what is frequency? Feelings, thoughts, beliefs, and actions. Okay, so write down on a paper, what are the qualities I want in this person? Just like you would write, what are the qualities I want in my life partner?
Yeah.
Right? And the moment they did that, they started attracting people of that frequency.
Right.
They'll be sitting in a restaurant and suddenly somebody says, hey, are you looking for this guy? And they'll introduce you to somebody.
Right.
Right. So how do you think we came to this podcast?
Yeah.
100%. Some frequency matched somewhere.
Yeah.
Where we say, okay, what are the kind of people we want to be podcasted with? So first we didn't say, okay, let's go to the world and talk about law of attraction. So now hold on. Let's write down what are the kind of people we want to meet first.
Yeah.
Said, okay, we want to meet people who understand law of attraction, respect law of attraction, understand this journey of spirituality.
Correct. Yeah.
And naturally we start meeting people like Karishma.
Yeah. And vice versa. Like I was just mentioning that even though seemingly the seemingly shocking people, right, who are not even in the industry of science, spirituality, or wellness, are coming on the podcast and talking about that. So I think that frequency and alignment is very similar. And I asked that question because I know that a while back, I first of all very ad hoc conduct like meditations in office for everybody.
Wow.
And I try to do alignment things. And slowly, like there's a girl, Tanisha, in our office, and she said, I had not even heard of the word manifestation before I joined HOB.
Wow.
And today I feel like everything in my life is manifest. Yeah. And it's also that kind of frequency, right? Where like those people who don't even know or believe come into your experience so that they kind of be a part of that experience because it's there.
Beautifully said.
Yeah. What role does intuition play in all this? And I ask you this because as a leader, I'm very intuitive. If something in my gut is saying it, I will, like logic takes a bit of a backseat. My intuition always comes first. I believe that honing the gut, honing your intuition is one of the biggest skills that you can have. And I just want to understand what is the interplay of intuition and the law of attraction.
Done. So the moment we say the word intuition, it's connected. Now we come back to collective consciousness.
Right.
We seem like I'm alone right now, but I'm not alone. I'm literally connected to the whole universe, and so are you.
Yeah.
When we say we are intuitively feeling something, we're literally receiving messages from the whole universe. So think of it as an example that I'm a laptop. If I'm using law of attraction correctly, and if I'm aligned into my intuitions, I'm connected to the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Now, what information I have access to on Google?
Anything. It's abundance. There's
right?
no limit. Yeah.
But if I'm disconnected, then there's no intuition. So many times, intuition is a feeling that you will have about doing something or not doing something. And there are beautiful ways of understanding that feeling. And there's a scientific way of even examining whether I'm intuiting something or is it my past memory playing tricks on my mind. Right? Because sometimes,
You're conditioned.
conditioned.
Right.
So sometimes you may say, okay, my intuition is saying don't talk to this guy. But is it my intuition or is it I avoid these kind of people based on my experiences?
Yeah.
How do I know what is the difference, right?
Right. But I feel like when you evolve in your spiritual practice or
Yes.
in your law of attraction practice, you know on an energy level.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I'm just like, I can't place, like I've said this out loud in a business meeting saying that I can't place my finger on what it is, but the energy is just off.
Perfect.
Yeah. And that's my explanation, that's my reason, and then therefore it is. And a lot of people think that this is not a sound right brain kind
it's
of explanation, but it is what it is. Once you experience it, you know.
There's a beautiful example for what you're describing. Sometimes you can't put a finger on something. Imagine you're a cloud.
Yeah.
And there is the sky above you. So the way I like to say is in law of attraction, the sky is the universe. The clouds are the human beings.
Yeah.
Now the cloud can only see so far. But the sky knows that's not the right place for you.
Correct.
There's going to be a storm over there. Don't go there.
Yeah.
And sometimes you'll have the right intuition say, don't go there. You can't put a finger on it logically saying, why not? But trust the factor of that intuition and just move. Because the universe can see what I can't see.
Yeah.
Now, how do you examine that? Very simple. So, a very simple way of doing it, there is a simple and a scientific way, both. The simple way is keep your hands on your heart and say both kind of statements. So, let's say, I want to go somewhere. And I'm getting this feeling, nahi jana chahiye.
Yeah.
Right? Zor se bol ke dekho, with your hands on your heart. I'll tell you why. Say, I'm going there. And just check how you're feeling. Now say, I'm not going there. And now just check how you're feeling. You'll have a contrast experience which you cannot lie to.
Yeah. It's undeniable.
Undeniable.
Yeah.
You say like, yeah, here I'm feeling comfortable, here I'm feeling uncomfortable. Because the body is connected to the universe.
Correct.
And it gives you that signal through comfort in your body.
Right.
And logically you say, par mujhe jana chahiye. This is an opportunity. But weirdly, when I'm saying I'm not going, I'm feeling comfortable. But when I'm saying I don't want to go, or I want to go, I'm feeling uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Listen to that intuition.
So we just spoke about intuition. Is there any kind of proof, that my intuition is in the right direction? Because intuition can be such a subjective thing. And how do you know when to trust it?
Perfect. So one way I already told you, your hands on your heart and you say that, right? That's a simple way of doing it. But there's a scientific way of doing it as well. It's called kinesiology.
Okay.
So all you do is, let's say you take a hand like this.
Okay.
And you can do this at home, and I'll do it with you right now on camera. After you take a hand like this, I'm going to push your hand down.
Yeah.
I'm just going to use one finger. Don't worry, I'll not push hard.
Yeah.
The idea is not to really push your hand, but to allow you to check how much strength do you have when you resist me.
Okay.
Okay. Use all your strength.
Yeah.
Now, while you're using that strength, say a truth statement about yourself. For an example, my name is Karishma.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's true.
Yeah.
And you'll see your strength is at a certain level, on a level of 1 to 10. And then I'll ask you to again do the same activity, but this time saying a lie.
Okay.
For an example, saying I'm Indu.
Okay.
And then see what happens to your strength.
Okay.
Again, we'll say my name is Karishma and see what happens as a comparison.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. And then I'll explain what that means.
Yeah.
Okay. So a little up. Now use all your strength and say my name is Karishma.
My name is Karishma.
Now I'm going to push. You just have to test how much strength you have.
Okay.
Fair?
Yeah.
You got it now?
Yeah.
All right. So this is just a test of your strength.
Okay.
Now say my name is Indu.
My name is Indu.
And resist with all your strength. I'm giving you time to collect your energy. Say it again. My name is Indu.
My name is Indu. Yeah.
Now try again and say my name is Karishma.
My name is Karishma.
You see your strength came back?
Yeah. Yeah. It's. I think it's a mindset thing. Like you know subconsciously.
So why it works is scientifically. This is when you take your fingers like this. This is strength.
Yeah.
When you open your fingers, this is weakness.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
There's less strength. There's more strength here. There's less strength here.
Yeah.
So in your body, there are cells.
Correct.
When you tell the truth, connected to the universe,
yeah,
and you believe in it, your entire body gets integrated and there's strength.
Yeah.
But if you're lying to yourself, you'll go weak.
Correct.
So if let's say I want to go somewhere, the same example I gave earlier, I can take my hands and say, I want to go here. If my hand goes weak, again and again I'm doing it, and I'm saying, I don't want to go here, and my hand goes strong.
Yeah.
My intuition is proving it to me.
Physically,
through my body,
right.
That every time I say I don't want to go there, every fiber of my body is giving me strength.
Yeah.
But every time I say I want to go there, every fiber of my body is making me weak.
Okay. You have to listen to that.
Listen to that.
Yeah.
And try it a few times and you'll see the proof.
I feel listening is such a huge part of this entire experience because your internal yardstick, your internal metric knows,
Yeah.
which is also what spirituality talks about, right? Like the entire journey is inwards. It's never outwards.
Never outwards.
When you go inwards, you find the answers. I'm also reading the Bhagavad Gita from scratch.
We
So-
saw it in the
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw.
Yeah, so I know that the confluence of science and spirituality is like this. So when we speak about these concepts, right, I want to go into the very basics of a few things in short,
Done.
right? Like think of it as a mild rapid fire
Done.
Yeah.
of certain techniques that people have heard about. Now, you're on Instagram, you hear one person saying something about something, the other person saying something about the other thing. It's like information galore, and you don't know what's right and which way
Absolutely.
to go. So you guys have been doing this for 2 decades plus now. So let's clarify some of these things
Sure.
and give people that first step to take towards these practices in the
Done.
right way.
Sure.
Done.
Right way being the operative term.
Ready for the rapid fire?
How does one visualize properly?
Good question. Don't start with directly visualizing the goal.
Yeah.
Take your hand, look at the hand, close your eyes, and visualize the hand first. Open your eyes again, look at the hand carefully.
Hmm.
You'll see some major lines, you'll see some small lines. Close your eyes again, visualize it again. When you do this 3 times, you've tuned your visualization ability now.
Into like you're concentrating.
You're concentrating.
Effectively. Right.
So you're now really able to visualize.
Hmm.
And because you've tuned your ability to visualize,
Yeah.
now you close your eyes and visualize what you really want, you will be able to.
Okay. Amazing. What about vision boards? How does one create the right vision
Oh,
board?
that's her domain. That's her favorite domain.
And is it also an evolving vision board? Like, for example, I have created my vision board in the beginning of the year, but in the middle of the year, I'm like, I really also want to attract this ex guest, for example, on my podcast. So, is it an ever evolving
Yeah.
vision board?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So I make the vision board. I first list down what I'm looking for. Write down the clarity. Start with clarity always. So write down what you're looking for. Divide it into 4 quadrants, which is health, relationship, career, and money. Write down what you're looking for. Once you have it, then take out the images. The images can be from Google or the images can be from your own history. Take it out, put the images nicely, put a 1-line affirmation below it and display it on wherever possible. So in my case, I have it on refrigerator.
Okay.
I
And-
get it printed in a magnetic format
Okay.
and I put it. So I have separate one. I have one for health, one for relationship,
So
one
separate
for
vision boards.
tourism,
Yeah.
Okay.
one for my business,
Yeah.
one for money, one for investments. I have a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And those vision boards are magnetic and I keep changing. As you correctly said, once I achieve what I'm looking for, I change. I go change the image, get it printed, put a new one. Simple.
Wow. Very interesting.
You
And-
can put it anywhere. You can put it in your washroom.
I'll tell you what, we'll give your viewers a free download of the template of our vision board.
Amazing.
We will
Because
do
I was
that.
just going to ask, like, what is that one-liner that you have, right? Because it can be
So
so
one liner
confusing.
can be as simple as say I'm looking for say Vastu house, for example.
Mm.
So my one liner will be I'm looking for I have got a nice beautiful Vastu penthouse 6 BHK
Like a Vastu
And-
compliant house.
and a 6 BHK. I'll just take out from Google
And-
some
and
6
put that,
BHK
yeah.
penthouse and just put it there types.
Amazing.
It's a one liner of whatever you
Whatever you want, whatever your
Yeah.
biggest goal is.
Don't, I mean, what I'm trying to say, don't write a complete kahani there, story there.
Yeah.
Just put one liner and it works very well.
So the short answer I'll give you is have the guts to put anything in your vision board. वैसे
Without
थोड़ी लग रहा है।
limits. Yeah. Without
Without
limits. Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
go to the internet, think wildest. You want a jet plane? डाल दो. ऐसे थोड़ी लग रहा है।
Yeah, and it works amazingly. So just to share a story, we had on our vision board, we had put the image of first class cabin of Emirates.
Yeah.
And I had forgotten about it, honestly, that I had put it. And last year, when we went to US, we went in first class Emirate cabin.
Hmm.
And that was the first time we were flying Emirates first class. We
Right.
flew first class of other airlines, but not Emirates. So when I shot the video, I shared it with a friend. She said, "Arey Indu, ye to tere vision board pe tha."
So she realized.
She realized.
That's
so,
yeah. That's
so this is
fascinating.
how it gets manifested. It gets
Yeah.
manifested very easily.
Amazing. Affirmations. Like if you were to give us and the viewers 5 simple affirmations that they can begin this journey with after listening to everything that we've discussed, where you're not just blindly saying affirmations, but you're really coming from a
Sure.
feeling of gratitude and positive frequency. What are the 5 Any 5 affirmations that people can actually write down and use for
So
themselves.
instead of 5, I'll give you 2 words, just like the I am,
Yeah.
which can be applied to not just 5, but more than 5.
Okay.
Because affirmations have to happen in all 4 areas of life:
Yeah.
health, relationship, career,
Career
and
and
money.
work,
The
yeah.
affirmation is, I'm comfortable having,
Right.
and then add anything after that.
Add anything.
Amazing.
Because I say that when people ask me a lot of times, what is my frequency? So my answer is, your comfort zone is your frequency.
Ah,
If
yeah.
you're not comfortable, it's out of your frequency.
Correct.
So how do you bring it in your comfort zone? Start saying, I'm comfortable. So I'm comfortable being married. I'm comfortable being a millionaire. I'm comfortable doing a podcast.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm comfortable having this guest in my podcast.
Mm.
I'm comfortable being happily married with my life partner. Whatever you want, I'm comfortable having.
Yeah.
Add anything after that.
And what's the best way to affirm? Is it writing, or some people say look in the mirror and say it, or just say it out loud? What is the ideal way to
So
do it?
best is depends on you actually.
Yeah.
What you like. Like Mitesh visualizes.
Mm.
He's very good at visualization. I like to write. I like to affirm. I like to record. So it all depends on what are you looking for. What is
Right.
your modality which attracts you.
Hmm.
So I would say that try all 3 options: writing, affirming, and visualizing. Whatever you think is you are comfortable with, just do
Go
it.
with that.
Hmm.
Just go with that.
What about intention setting? How does one set their intentions? Because people even struggle with that.
Yep.
So
Once
what is
you
a quick fix for that?
Once you have the clarity, I think you'll have the intention.
No, I think one of the best ways to have intention is 2 things. One is, first, before setting an intention, write down all the negative emotions that you're experiencing
Hmm.
and allow them to heal first.
Allow them to
Heal.
heal. Okay.
Release them, heal them using hope, nope, no, whatever
Yeah.
technique you can, but heal them.
Hmm.
So this 1st of January, we did a session for all our team members. More than 1,000 people showed up live, where we called it the best magical year of your life, to set an intention for 2024. On day 1, we did a very simple exercise on not writing goals, because normally people would start writing
Goal
goals, right?
setting. Yeah.
So okay, forget goals. Write down what are the emotions you want to experience this whole year.
Hmm.
Start with that intention.
Yeah.
Because if the emotional experiences are not clarified yet, it doesn't material into have.
Hmm.
That was the first day. The second day was about, what are the wounds I want to heal of my past?
Yeah.
What are my past memories?
Correct.
I had some breakups. I had some failures in my projects. This business didn't work out. I lost some money in stocks. Make a list of all of that. If nothing, burn it as metaphor to just say that, okay, I'll let you go.
Hmm.
And on the second day, 1,000 people were attending. And when we did the healing exercise of just letting go of your past, there were people who had tears in their eyes and they said, I didn't even realize that I had 10 years of these pending emotions and memories.
Right.
When they started writing, they said, my God, I didn't know I had this memory.
Yeah.
And when they let go of it, I said, now you're ready for the 3rd day.
Okay.
Now you're ready to now write your intention for the year of 2024. Now write down, what do I want?
Yeah. So you have to basically
It
do
will
this prep
effortlessly
work.
come.
Yeah.
You have to do the 1st and the 2nd step. So you do the 1st and the 2nd step to prepare your intention.
Yeah.
It's like जब दिया जलाते हैं,
Yeah.
तो सीधा हाथ थोड़ी लगाते हैं.
Yeah.
पहले घी आता है, दिया आता है.
Yeah. There's a
बाती आती है.
process. Yeah.
There's a process to it. पहले वो कर लो. फिर जब इंटेंशन करोगे 3रे दिन तो effortless हो जाता है.
आ जाता है.
करना भी नहीं
Correct.
पड़ता है, अपने आप प्यार से हो जाता है.
Right. Amazing. Finally, what's a technique of the law of attraction that you think is underutilized?
Hope, no.
Open.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Totally underutilized.
Yeah.
People have no idea the kind of magic it can do. To give you an example,
It's a superpower.
It's a superpower. There are 2 actually, hope, no, and NLP. These are both superpowers of law of attraction.
What is NLP?
Neuro-linguistic programming.
Correct.
So the ability to change the frequency of your brain in 10 minutes. So to give you an example, there is this lady who, her name is Pinky. She's part of our programs. When she came, she was depressed, having panic attacks every day, crying every day for many, many years. Every day. Like literally every day. We do a simple NLP retuning exercise with her, realign exercise with her. And we do hope, no with her for about half an hour. From that day till now, she's never cried about that problem.
Wow.
Panic attacks have completely gone.
That's
And this is not one case study. I have hundreds and thousands of video recorded case studies of people coming out of depression, panic attacks, anxiety. Another lady whom I can talk about, she's about 55 years old, housewife, having depression for I think more than 10 years. Today, she's a life coach by using these techniques of NLP and hope. No, these are 2 superpowers of law of attraction which are totally underutilized.
Okay. I hope that people now are intrigued and
Yeah, I hope so too.
their brain is tickled to kind of explore more. It's been a fascinating conversation, especially because I feel like in these type of podcasts, I get a lot of my questions.
that.
So like I very rarely engage so much in a conversation because I have a lot to give. Like it's not something that I'm unaware of. I love this topic. So, as a last question and last thoughts from you guys, to anyone who's really down and out and feeling like there is no way, what would you guys say? Because, of course, you all have seen so many multiple ways.
Yeah, she'll give you her answer first.
In the biggest ways possible, what would you say?
So I would say that if somebody is given up or somebody has some challenges, I would say give it a try, come back, give it a try with hope, no. Start with hope, no. And you will see you will see life shifting very nicely. You will see the shift. Just trust. Go chant hope, no for next maybe 1 week.
What do you mean by chant hope?
That's 4 statements.
Oh yeah, right. What he was saying.
I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you and thank you. So those 4 statements, you just chant. Don't do anything. Just chant these 4 sentences for next 1 week and see the shift.
How often? How?
You can do it. I do it 108 times.
Okay.
I have that beads mala. I use it with that. I do it 108 times, at least 4 to 5 times in a day.
Oh wow!
You can do it anytime. You don't have to necessarily sit at one place and do it. You can just keep a reminder for yourself and just as and when you remember, just chant. Even if it is once, it's okay. Even if it is 5 times, it's okay. Just do it and you will see the shift in your life.
Okay.
And that much I can, on your channel, I can guarantee.
Okay, so if it's guaranteed,
I can guarantee you that.
Absolutely.
That you will see a positive shift.
No, I'm going to do it. I'm definitely going to do it.
Yeah. So there's a second answer to that. And I knew this would be her answer. So that's why I diverted to her because that's my favorite answer as well. The second answer is whenever you are miserable, the source of misery is focusing on yourself. Just give yourself permission for 1 week to forget about yourself and start helping somebody.
Yeah, helping somebody just feels so good.
Just do anything you can.
Yeah.
With money, with kindness. If
with
nothing,
time.
help your boss with something.
With
If
time.
nothing, unconditionally help your colleague in a project which you have nothing to do with.
Yeah.
But do something for somebody because the source of misery is focusing on yourself so much that you become so much about my life, my problems, my sadness, my relationships, my health, my body. The more we say my, we are disconnected for the we.
Yeah.
Just for 1 week, give yourself that permission to connect with the world around you and start giving.
Yeah. Shift the focus.
Shift the focus from yourself to others.
Yeah.
I'd challenge anybody for a week to love others and show me if you're depressed after that.
Amazing. I think they're 2 very actionable steps, and I hope that people begin to do it. I know that I am. And it's been an amazing conversation. And thank you so much for giving us access to this free program for 30 days.
Absolutely.
The link of which we're going to add below, so that many, hopefully millions of people can benefit from it.
Looking forward to it.
And thank you so much. Thank you for coming on Realign the podcast. And
Thank you so much.
we hope that people realign after this.
Yeah, and I want to set this intention that one of my biggest missions is while I'm alive, or maybe after, is to have every household of India practicing the science so that every child, every adult, when wakes up in the morning, the way they brush their teeth, the first thing they do is they do affirmations and vision board and hope no.
Yeah.
And because the more we practice these things, the more spiritual we are, the better the country.
Yeah.
And
Collectively,
right?
Yeah.
So, and I want to set that intention with your channel.
Yeah.
And very soon when that comes true, we'll do another interview about that.
Yeah, let's hope. I know it'll manifest.
Thank you so much for
thank
having
you.
us.
Thank
It
you.
was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Your frequency is amazing, I must say. This is one of the most comfortable interviews we've had.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I think comfort is frequency.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
More comfortable and loving.
Thank you so
There's
much.
some loving energy to you.
How sweet.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for coming. We hope this episode added value to your lives. Join the Realign movement. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you in the next one.